You ready? Call meeting to order.
On January 2nd, 2015, adequate notice of this meeting pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Act has been furnished by inclusion thereof in the annual schedule of meetings of 2015, which has been posted on the bulletin board at Borough Hall, filed with the Borough Clerk, faxed to the Our-Town, the Record, and the community newspapers, and distributed to all persons, if any, requesting copies of same pursuant to said act. In case of an emergency or fire alarm, you must evacuate the building by using any of the exit doors in the room. They are immediately to my right and the double doors at the rear of the room. Occupants must exit the building by using the staircase and not the elevator. This meeting is being recorded by both video and audio and may be rebroadcast.
Okay, we have Reverend Edward Sarchak of Zion Lutheran Church for communications. Reverend?
You can stay seated. You can stay seated.
Thank you.
Heavenly Father, your eyes are upon all of us. You're very much aware of what we're about. You know our heart. We can't hide from you. So I'm asking you this evening, O Lord, and from my heart, that you will be with these men and women today at this meeting, not only making decisions for the community, but being fair about it, looking inside their own heart, their own soul, to know that they're doing the right thing for the right purpose, that they have the people in mind and not their individual self-interests. We live in a time when we see so much of that. People begin to lose confidence. I would ask, Lord, that you would give these folks strength to do their duty, to see their way clear, and that the people of the community would support them as their elected leaders and give them the undivided attention and respect that they deserve for their position. So, blessed God, be with them this evening. Watch over them. They're coming and they're going. And watch over the community of Maywood. Bless the officers, the firemen, all the first responders. But especially too, Lord, we pray for all the men and women that are in harm's way to keep our way of living and our freedom safe. We pray this in your name, most heavenly Father. Amen.
Amen.
And God bless you all.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
All right, so salute the flag, please.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Okay. Mayor Fabray?
Here.
Council members Gervino?
Here.
DeHere?
Here.
Eisenberg?
Here.
Messer?
Here.
Lindenau?
Here.
Maroney?
Here.
Borough Attorney Ronald A. Dario?
Here.
Borough Administrator Roberta Stern?
Here.
Deputy Clerk Sally J. Miller?
Work session items. Is there anything on or off the agenda tonight?
One thing off the agenda is just following up on the crosswalk on Passaic Street. Was there any progress in having the police department take a look at that?
Where's the chief? Chief?
We're looking at that, and we're looking at a couple other ones, and talk with the commissioner. We're going to sit down with the engineer and get everything on the same page.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Okay, proclamations and presentations. Tonight we have with us representatives from NJ MAD, and it's Captain Robert Neer. He will present an award to Sergeant Darrell Worrell and Police Officer Eric Aronson for their achievements of DWI enforcement. Gentlemen?
this time, I'm Bob Kinnear, representative from MAD, Mothers Against Drunk Driving. Been a police officer for 42 years. I have no plans of future retirement. I'm as dedicated as the officers that you see in this room. But at this time, I'd like to turn it over to my colleague here, Robert Nolan, who's also representative from MAD. Robert?
Hello, everybody. Thank you. I'm right at home here because I was the mayor of Clinton, New Jersey for 8 years, and so I see the rogues gallery there of former mayors. I think I'm on the wall in Clinton, too, but hope that it doesn't have painted mustaches on it. But so I'm here from, as Captain Kinnear said, I'm here from MAD to say thank you to the Borough of Maywood, and to specifically say thank you to the two officers who are going to be honored tonight for their extreme dedication in making sure that your streets are safe, that your lives are comfortable and protected, and most of all, from our perspective, that they are great enforcers of against drunk driving. And I think that is something that your community can be very proud of. So what it really comes down to is you have a supportive community. It means your mayor and council are on the ball when it comes to that kind of enforcement. It means they get the kind of support they need from their chief and other senior officers. It's a blessing. So it's kind of the perfect combination of that I hang out. It's like the two Bob Club here, Bob Nolan and Bob Kinnear. He's the police guy that is so active in MAD. I'm the victim advocate who is so active in MAD. So we're the metaphor. We can't live without each other. MAD is toothless if we don't get the kind of enforcement. We work hard, we try to change laws, we make people aware, we support our victims. Nothing works without the enforcement that we need from our police departments, from our officers who are out there on the road. And honestly, you complete us, and it makes all the difference. I'm here because actually representing MAD and representing the boy in this picture. He's a 22-year-old young man. His name is Dan Nolan. He was my son, is my son. He was 22, a senior in college, when he was killed by a drunk driver. As a matter of fact, he was in a car with 4 friends coming back from Philadelphia on a Saturday night on I-95 going north when a young woman, 20 years old, driving southbound in the northbound lanes where it says one way, no, where it says wrong way, she was drunk enough that she didn't realize she had gotten on the highway the wrong way, hit them head on, killed all 5 boys, and killed herself. So I'm the surviving dad who comes to speak to people to say it's not just statistics, it's real people that we're talking about. Look, it's serious business. We try to make a difference. As I said, we can't make that difference without the partnership that we have with our police departments and with our communities. So I am somebody who doesn't go through one day, and you can imagine, many of you may be parents, many of you have loved ones or good friends and have been affected by some issue with alcohol in your life. We only come here to say, make smart decisions, make sure your kids know what the story is, maybe have a contract with your kids that says if they are ever in a situation where they can't get home safely, that they will call their parents in the middle of the night or whatever and say, pick me up, and not get grounded for a year because of it. We want our kids to be safe. We want everybody to make smart decisions. And if they don't, we want these police officers to be out there to safeguard us, to take those people off the streets. And I am so proud to be part of the team with these officers who serve so dedicatedly and who mean so much to all of us. So let me turn it back to Captain Kinnear, but thank you for listening to me about this beautiful son of mine, who at 22, the only picture in my wallet that stays 22 years old, but I dedicate all of my efforts to Danny, and I hope that you pass this message forward for me. Thank you.
This boy was alive and well. His father talked about statistics. He's really not a statistic. He was a living being, a human being. And Bob, thank you for bringing that picture. I'm going to give you some short statistics. Comparisons of state arrests. In the state of New Jersey, 24,900 arrests for DWI. 24,900 for DWI. 24,710, 18 years of age and over. Under the age of 18, 166. It's not, do you know where your children are? Do you know where your parents are? If I can, I'm a victim of drunk driving myself, off duty, coming from a school of a fundraiser, and some gentleman decide to turn, and I use that term loosely, turn the corner of where I was in my brand new Jeep, and he smacked right into it. Of course, being a police officer, I said, I can't let him go. He's coming up to a school zone on Route 4 and 30th Street. So what did I do? I followed him in my car and I called it into headquarters. He traveled approximately over a half a mile drunk, running through stop signs, coming up to a firehouse with a baby carriage crossing it. And I slowed him down on the left-hand side enough to where he slowed down. Looked at me, laughed, and went right through the stop sign, just narrowly missing a child in a stroller. I had to force him off the road in my private vehicle. And when he forced off the road, I ran up to the car to grab the keys, and he nearly bit my finger off. A struggle ensued. He started going forward. I took the keys out. I was injured in my back, but I'm one of the lucky ones. One of the lucky ones. He thought he was on Route 80, traveling at a high rate of speed to get home. He served 5.5 years for the DWI, the injury to myself, but also, unbeknownst to us, he was involved in an accident 4 miles away, where he injured 2 people there also. Beer strewn all over the car. I just want to say a few words about the profession of protecting the public. Where Chief Pegg stands right now and these fine young officers who are here today requires dedication, courage, compassion, integrity, fairness, and respect, honesty, and gallantry. Law enforcement is the front line of defense in just about everything that's out there, including drunken driving. These officers who stand before you today have earned that respect from MAD, and I'm sure everybody in here. Almost the 25 to 30 arrests that Maywood had, combined total of 12 arrests. That's 12 people who could have killed many people off the roadway, and we want to thank you for that. As a law enforcement officer, they place themselves in harm's way every time, every second, every minute, every day, and every year when they put on that uniform, as you can see what's going on today on the news. It's highly unpredictable, it's extremely dangerous, and sometimes deadly. Performing their job is not a reason to even risk injury or even death. But every day, these officers who put on a uniform, the chief who commands them and the captains, they're here to protect and serve. And that's exactly what they do. I'm sure they're like me. I don't say goodbye to my wife and my children when I leave. I say, I'll see you later, because I want to make sure I come home. There's no price tag you can place on valor. The least we can do is give them a certificate to show them appreciation. I know the chief appreciates them every day. The chief's here today. He's here to honor his men, along with the captain and everybody else. MAD New Jersey wishes every law enforcement officer and every public servant dedicated to the mission of protecting our roads and saving lives. We wish we could honor each and every one of them personally, but that would take all year. That would take years. Driving is only a privilege in the state of New Jersey, a privilege, and really it's in our control. And it's every driver's obligation to be a safe driver, and they enforced that law, as you saw, with over 12 arrests for drunk driving, 12 arrests. For this 2013-14 law enforcement recognition, it is our sincere pleasure as representatives of MAD to specifically and humbly thank you for your hard work, dedication, and legacy that you're creating in your own community of Maywood. by saving lives and preventing crashes. With your help, we will continue to educate and send a message to never mix drinking with driving or any type of substance that causes impairment, and to stop the distracted driver. In the hope of preventing tragedies on the roads and highways, law enforcement's constant pursuit of excellence of the body, mind, and spirit and enforcement of our laws is at the core of maintaining our civilization and destiny. Chief, on behalf of MAD, we would like to award certificates to the two officers. I'd like you to please, if you could. Robert?
So the first is Officer Eric Aronson. And second, Officer Darrell Worrell.
And just summing up, the 2015 MAD Awards are here. The Chief had just placed additional officers in for the award for 2015. And Chief, I've never been a chief, but I've been a captain. I know it's very difficult. You make some decisions at the time, but I do appreciate the mayor and council and the chief having these officers out there and allowing them to do the job. I know sometimes it might cause overtime and stuff like that, but at the same time, these are dedicated officers for a great cause. Over 12 arrests. I commend you as a captain of a police department of 42 years, as I'm sure the chief and the captain here, and the mayor and council and the community, 12 individuals that passed through Maywood were off the road. You made the community safe that night, that day, every second, every minute, every hour, and every year. And again, we thank you, and I'd like to thank everybody for attending.
Thank you.
Yes, if you could get a nice picture, please. Chief, I want to, can we get everybody in, please? Sure. Mad loves groups, can you tell?
We can step over there.
We'll go on the ends if the council would like to.
We need a wide angle.
Can you get the whole shot there? Because it's important to Matt to get everybody in there.
Thank you.
If Matt could just go down the line and shake everybody's hand for fighting and having us here, thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Officers, thank you. Chief, thanks for all your support, everybody. Thank you, sir.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thanks for supporting you all. Thank you.
Thanks for sharing.
Hold on.
Eric? Congratulations.
No, thank you. It's our pleasure.
Congratulations.
And we will be back next year. Actually, I'm sorry, if I can just make one announcement. On June 26th, the 2015 MAD Awards will be given out at Monmouth University, who donated the entire college to us. We have over 850 police officers that we are giving the awards to. If anybody wants to come, and it's an open invitation, Monmouth University at 8:30 a.m. in the morning. We are serving breakfast. Thank you again, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, let's open the meeting to the public.
What's up, my brother?
That's our next stop.
Is there anyone from the public wishing to speak?
Open to the public now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, I do.
Please come up.
Here?
Yes,
Yeah?
I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, I don't know. I'm new at this. I don't know what to do or where to go.
Please state your name and address.
Right here or just stop speaking to here? Okay, I'll sit down then.
Yeah, however you're comfortable.
Okay. My name is Diana Barman, 11 Washington Avenue, in town, Maywood. And I'm here, I'm president of the Senior Citizens Club in Maywood, and I was hoping that we could have our town bus pick up our senior citizens from Lydecker Manor twice a month. It seems, I've heard, that the bus driver takes a lunch hour from 11:30 to 1:30. That's just scuttlebutt. I don't know if that's true or not. But our meetings run from, say, 12:30 to 2:30, twice a month. And many of the seniors that are in Rhinebeck Manor no longer drive, and they have no way to get to our meetings. And some of them have backed out because they feel they cannot get there. So I was hoping that something could be done about that. We meet the first and third Wednesdays of every month, and do not have meetings in July or August.
So what we will do is, we will talk to the representative from the other senior group, and we'll see, I'm assuming they'll want the same thing, and then I would imagine he has to offer to everybody, so what we'll do is, we'll speak with the driver, speak
We'll have to
with her.
just look at the timing and see.
Timing?
Would you be kind enough to give me your phone number before you leave so I can contact you?
Okay. Want me to give it to you now?
Mhm.
201?
Well, you know what,
I've
why don't
just
we do
been
it, don't do
saying.
it on the record.
I'm sorry?
Don't do it on the record.
Oh,
Just, right, just come over to me.
I will.
Yeah.
Okay, that's it?
Thank you, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for your time. Thank you.
Is there anyone else? wishing to speak?
201, 845.
Come on up.
Right.
8437. 8437. Yeah, okay? Okay, I don't know about the other club. I was almost going to ask Billy if many...
I got these, so I won't have to flip them up. No, okay. Tom Richards, 347 Golf Avenue.
See what happens.
A question about the special meeting you had the other day with regard to the budget, and it was not open to the public. Okay, I spoke to a couple of attorneys in the wake of that, and I reviewed...
Let me just, I apologize, stop you right there. We erred, we were supposed to open up to the public.
Well, I'm glad you admitted that, because I went through
Matter of
the...
admitting, there's no denying.
Well, thank you for that,
We made a
because
mistake.
according to the state statute, open
I found
public
that
meetings,
out. Yes. There's a little
I
promotion.
questioned it, and I had questioned one of the councilmen who questioned it. Okay, great, that's terrific.
Just for the record, I asked the clerk prior to the meeting and was told that it was not open to the public, and I conveyed that to Mr. Richards. Turns out that was an error.
Okay, well,
Thank you, sir.
that's why there are races on the end of those wooden things. Okay. I have a question about the resolution 77-15 with respect to the park benches, excuse me, the benches at the pool. Am I reading this correctly? There's 3 benches for $25,000. Is anything else involved in that, aside from 3 benches for $25,700? Just 3 benches? Ooh.
Can we ask what the size of the benches are?
Well, that was my next question. My next question to the if I may, okay, was when do you folks discuss these resolutions? There's no public executive sessions. We're spending $25,700 here for benches that apparently you guys didn't know about.
Well, just to comment on that, the reason why I asked the question is because I recall several large benches at the pool. So there's no question in my mind as to what was being spent on this, because I remember there's some large stretches of benches that need to be replaced.
Okay, but I spoke to a member of the pool commission today who knew nothing about it. Okay, a longtime member of the pool commission knew nothing about it. The council apparently was unaware of the resolution, the text of the resolution, or didn't discuss it prior to this meeting. And I think it's incumbent on you folks to have executive sessions open, where open discussion is made throughout the council, back and forth, where there is banter back and forth, where documents like this can be fully discussed and run over. I have to tell you...
I think what Mr. Richards is saying is that this was never brought up at a work session.
Well, my point, what I'm trying to bring up is that in the past, in prior councils, and I think I mentioned this at the last last council meeting, in prior years, and I was on the council for a great number of years, served in just about every position on the council, we would have, initially when I got on the council, we would have a work session, a regular meeting, a work session, a regular meeting. Everything was open to the public. The documents, the resolutions, the ordinances were fully vetted at those meetings.
Invented.
No, vetted.
Invented. Both.
Invented? Well, thank you. Okay. A joke here and there is okay. But this, I think it's incumbent on you folks to get together in an open session. We used to meet across a table. You could even put this table together and talk about it.
but talk about it and get it, so it's not a surprise to you when people come up and ask you a question about a resolution. Okay. The other thing I would really appreciate, and I don't know how difficult it would be, and let me also add one thing. I was the administrator in Woodcliff Lake for about a year and 5 months, okay? They did exactly the same thing, and I was frustrated up there about it, and I spoke to the mayor no end about it, because they would get the resolutions at the last minute, they go on the agenda, the council's reading them as the people are reading them. It's not a good thing. It's not a good thing. It can be embarrassing to everyone, and even the community. So please take a look at it. And the other thing I would ask you to do, if it's possible, to look at have the bill list published, because it's very difficult to go through this bill list in 3 or 4 minutes before a council meeting that's open to the public. Have a good evening.
I just wanted to clarify one thing. I said that the session was not open to the public. I did not mean that the meeting was not open to the public. I meant that the public was not allowed to come up and comment on the introduction.
I have the number of the state statute, okay? It's 27-something. I'm sure the attorney knows it well. He's probably told everyone you should have had it open to the public, okay? That said, it's important that you folks know what's on the agenda, okay? That's all. Good night.
Anybody else from the public wish to be heard? Yes, sir. Please come up, state your name, address.
How you doing, Mayor and Council? My name is James Irwin. I come today as a friend and a neighbor. I live at 40 Jefferson Street, Hackensack, New Jersey. For the record, I work for North Jersey Media Group, which is the parent company of the Record, the Herald, and the community newspaper is one that serves this fine town. I am not here in that capacity. I'm, again, here as a friend, as a resident, as a neighbor. I am going from town to town in Bergen County and later on throughout the state to urge mayors and councils like yourself to pass an ordinance to raise the age to buy tobacco and nicotine products from 19 to 21. My mother worked at Inglewood Hospital Medical Center, retired 45 years of service on an oncology/infusion floor. During my time of growing up, visiting my mother at the hospital, I would meet many of her patients, some that became friends, all that had cancer, many forms of cancer that they are. I would often meet people, say on a Monday, and by the end of the week or a month or later, that person would have expired. I'm not a statistical person. I don't have to come to you and tell you the staggering statistics of how many people die of cancer a year, the issues between smoking, nicotine, and such related deaths, lung cancer, stroke, heart attack, emphysema. I don't have to tell you about the costs related to those issues. Infusion chemo treatments can cost anywhere from the thousands of dollars to tens of thousands of dollars per weekly treatment. And as we all know, those treatments go on for weeks and months at a time, depending on your condition. Cancer has taken every member of my father and his siblings. My father had 5 siblings. My father died of pancreatic cancer when he was 33. It wasn't smoking related, but it was cancer nonetheless. I never had the chance to see my father. He died when I was an infant, just born. 2 of his brothers died of lung cancer. A third died of multiple related cancers, bone cancer, prostate cancer, and another one died of unrelated cancer. I don't know if we all saw in the record last week, there's a new sensation going on. Just to backtrack a little bit, there's been a big push, an aggressive push on smoking, and we have made some headway in the 90s, late 90s and 2000s to cut down smoking, but there's a new sensation. These electronic cigarettes, it makes smoking less smelly, less nasty, less dirty. It's not in your clothes, all right? It's making smoking, for lack of a better term, sexy again. This vaporized form of smoking or inhaling nicotine, and the kids are just eating it up like candy, like lollipops. There was a time when some of you who don't seem to be a couple of years older than me, you could be smoking in this session. When our parents were growing up, they could be smoking in meetings like this. They could go to work and smoke. As time progressed and we learned about the issues of smoking and its effects, things that are in nicotine, we passed legislation to you can't smoke indoors, you can't smoke in bars and restaurants. There's now a push to reduce smoking in our county parks, and there's a push to reduce it even in public town parks. So I'm coming to you as a friend, as a neighbor, as I said, as someone who's seen cancer's sting closely. We can march the experts in here. I don't have to speak to that. I'm sure everyone in this mayor and council has known someone or been affected by this dreadful disease. And more specifically, I feel that passing this legislation will help our kids, the kids that you serve, the parents, the kids of the parents that you serve as in this capacity. So I'm going to give some information to the borough administrator tomorrow for you to give to the rest of the council. They can see. I would urge the mayor and the town attorney to speak to your counterparts in Teaneck, Bogota, Garfield, come next month, East Rutherford. I've been to all those towns, and between myself and a group called GASP, who you should be familiar with, my counterpart and my partner in this campaign, Karen Blumenfeld, can give you all the information that you need. But call, do your due diligence, town attorney. Where's the town attorney? I'm sorry. Okay. Mr. Dario, feel free to contact your counterparts in those towns. One last thing. I was born and raised in Inglewood. Lived in Hackensack for over 10 years. And I've been active going to meetings. I've been to every meeting you could go to. I've been to maybe 1,000 council meetings, Board of Health meetings, housing meetings. And it's important. It's good to see a lot of people out here. Because I go to meetings, it's just one or two people. You know, you got your guy that counts the beans. You got your guy that's... Everybody's for something. And usually, you know, you have the usual suspects. But I urge people to be involved in your community, like the gentleman right here, to hold the folks that are in charge of your town accountable. I applaud y'all for the job that y'all do. It usually goes without any accolades. You know, it's great that you do this, serving your public, but this is something that I believe that everybody should benefit from, and I just ask that the council pass it, and I'll give the information to the borough administrator tomorrow so she can pass it to the council. I thank you for your time. Thank you, residents.
Just so you know, last year we passed an ordinance that bans smoking in our playgrounds, around public buildings, and we're getting the signs up this year. So we are very active in trying to prevent children from smoking.
Thank you, man.
Youngsters from smoking.
And I saw in this morning's record that Mayor Casella embraced what you're doing, and that they're passing this in East Rutherford.
So we will absolutely.
And just for the record, I have Hackensack, who I went to, the second town after Teaneck that I went to. They give me a lot of pushback, but, you know, if the neighbors do it, maybe they can have Hackensack go along as well. All right? And just for the record, if the lobbyists call and say it's hurting the business in town, there's no business that will go under in the town from passing this legislation. Okay? Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Anyone else wish to be heard? All right, close the meeting to the public. Public hearing on pending ordinances, effective ordinances.
Okay, ordinance number 1-15, an ordinance adopting a drug-free and drunk driving-free zones map for the Borough of Maywood and amending Chapter 163 of the Borough of Maywood Borough Code.
Open meeting to the public for any comments or questions regarding this ordinance. Is there a motion for the adoption?
So moved.
Second? Second. Roll call.
Gervino?
Yes.
DeHere?
Yes.
Eisenberg?
Yes.
Messer?
Yes.
Lindenau?
Yes.
Barone?
Yes.
Be it resolved by the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Maywood that ordinance 1-15B and is passed upon second and final reading, and that the Borough Clerk is hereby authorized and directed to advertise the same according to law.
Approval of minutes. Is there a motion for the approval of the March 10th, 2015 work session and closed session minutes, and the March 24th, 2015 council meeting and closed session minutes?
Move to approve. Second.
Roll call.
Trevino?
Yes?
Here?
Yes.
Eisenberg?
Yes.
Messer?
Yes.
Lindenau?
Abstain from the 10th and yes for the 24th.
Maroney?
Yes.
Presentation of bills and claims and request for public comment.
I just wanted to comment that I echo Mr. Richards' sentiment that the bill list should be put on the website as well for the public to examine.
Thank you. Is there a motion for the approval?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Trevino?
Yes?
Here?
Yes.
Eisenberg?
Yes.
Messer?
Yes.
Lindenau?
Yes.
Barone?
Yes.
Sounds like a report of the Borough Clerk.
Just that we did have some revisions to the agenda. We had some additions to the bill list, an additional resolution, number 7815, and an additional approval.
Report of the administrator.
I don't have much, Mayor, but regarding the walls at the Borough Pool, this has been something that's actually been in discussion for 2 years or more, and because when we did the renovation, we did not have enough money to do the wall at the same time, so this has been an ongoing issue. The walls have been crumbling, and they're compromised, and they're unsafe. So we finally had somebody come along who was able to take care of this for us. That's all I have.
Roberta, can I just ask you, the pool walls, if I'm going from memory, I believe they're brick
They're all
underneath the
brick.
wood platform?
That's being replaced with brick, solid brick, and Trex on the top instead of wood.
I was just
So there won't be
surprised that
splinters.
the quote went to a landscaper instead of a mason.
Because this is a landscaper who does this kind of work. And there were masons who were there as well, and they never actually even responded with a quote. I had at least 6 different contractors there in the last 2 years.
Anyone else have any questions for the administrator? Report of the Borough Attorney.
I have no report this evening, Mr. Mayor.
Committee reports. Mr. Trevino.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Last week, there was a special meeting for the introduction of the budget. There will also be a public hearing at Borough Hall on May 26th at 7:30. And I would just also like to say that on April 16th, I had the pleasure of attending the MAS Maywood Police Youth Leadership Program, along with Councilman Eisenberg and Mayor Fabre. And just as a parent, I would like to say it's a great program that the police department runs. This is my 3rd child that has been through it, and every one of them has loved it. The police give them knowledge on our laws, on some social skills, on bullying, on peer pressure resistance techniques, and I think it's just a great way for the children to interact with the police, especially these days with the friction that's going on in some areas with the police and the public. Children are learning at a young age to respect the police and to have a relationship with them, and I think we could be very proud to have a great group of men and women representing our town and being role models for our children.
That's an excellent point, Mr. Trevino. And just to step on your toes a little bit, parrot on what you just said, Officer Crowley does an unbelievable job, and I'd like to say that my daughter won an art award that day, so I got a gift certificate. Well, she got a gift certificate, but I got it.
Yes, I'd like to thank all the businesses. There were many gift certificates handed out that day from all the local businesses.
Yeah,
don't have the list to name them, but it was very generous.
That's great.
Thank you very much, sir. Mr. DeHare.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. One item. I know you're aware we had received correspondence from a resident, Jager, just following up on what was going on. So I contacted Negligent Engineering, and I got back to the residents in question who had sent us the letter, and I filled them in as to what the progress was, and they were happy to hear that there was progress made, and I assured them that it will be addressed and taken care of. That's all I have.
Thank you. Mr. Eisenberg.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just echo the sentiments of Councilman Trevino and yourself. The event at the Maywood Avenue School was really, it was a great experience. The kids enjoyed it, and I echo your sentiment on Officer Perotti, who really did a bang-up job that day. Councilman Messer and I met, and we discussed a number of the ordinances. I think we went through 7 chapters last week, and we found a few points. There are a couple instances where gender has not been neutralized. It still says councilman instead of councilperson. We found some issues with residency requirements that I understand the clerk has asked the borough attorney to take a look at. And there's a few other things, and I'll assemble a report when we have a bunch of them to go over and report them to everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Messer.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. For the Recreation Department, Big Hero 6, Act 3, will now take place on May 13th, Wednesday, May 13th, at the library at 5:30. Had to be rescheduled from its second act because of the conflict with the school activity. So, third time's a charm. I'd also like to announce that the Maywood Summer Club program is taking registrations. Lisa will be taking them at the 3rd floor, 15 Park Avenue. The summer program is from Monday, June 29th until Friday, August 21st, 8 weeks. And the program hours run from 8:30 to 3. It is the best summer program in the area. And this is feedback we've been getting for quite some time from many different locations. Also a reminder, the townwide garage sale is Saturday, May 16th and Sunday, May 17th. There's a $5 permit fee, and this sale will be advertised in local newspapers throughout the community. Registration is required by May 12th. From the police department, again, congratulations to Sergeant Whirl and P.O. Aronson for their achievements in DWI enforcement. I have a few matters for closed session, and I'd just like to read something that was in the record the other day. Hopefully I don't embarrass anybody. Allison Conlon threw a no-hitter and struck out 13 to lead Hackensack past Marist 4-0 in a non-league game this past week. Conlon was also 2 for 2 at the plate with a walk and 3 stolen bases. She hit a home run to break the 0-0 tie in the 5th, as the Comets went on to score 3 more times in that frame to take a 4-0 lead. I point this out for 3 reasons. 1, she's a Maywood resident. 2, she's gone through both the MYAA and the Maywood Roseville Park Girls Softball programs. And 3, most important reason, she's a youth coach volunteer who is a role model for young children coming up through the program. So kudos to Allison for her on-the-field and off-the-field accomplishments. Thank you very much.
I bet you never thought you'd be getting applause after your report.
No, I'm applauding Allison. Would you like to stand up and get the applause yourself?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Mr. Lindenau. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Nothing of policy to report tonight, but I am going to take a page out of Mr. Messer's book and give a shout-out to Bill Coyle of Mr. Bill Fitness. Last week, on Earth Day, he has a unique way of incorporating his exercises, and him and a client spent about 2 hours on Pleasant Avenue sweeping the sidewalks in front of almost every business in town, and encouraging all his other business owners to keep their places clean. He's very proud of keeping his place clean, and he encourages other businesses to do so, and they got a great workout for 2 hours. It was him and his client Mark that spent about 2 hours doing that, so kudos to him. That's all I have.
Council President Morone.
Yes, Mr. Mayor. Just a couple announcements. June 13th, there will be a shred event here in Maywood. Mr. Giordino and I attended the Arbor Day and read the proclamation in your office. We had a great time. Special shout out to the DPW for doing such a great job of preparing the grounds and having the kids involved in covering up the tree after it was buried. And Mr. Trapp as well, yes, thank you. He's always welcome and quite entertaining. The last thing I want to do is just to reiterate what Ms. Stone said about the pool. I've been involved on the pool and the liaison for quite some time. We've had very long discussions about the benches there, and we've had a lot of people come in and a lot of people take a look at it, and not a lot of people want to do the work, unfortunately. So it's been a long haul to find somebody to get that repaired, to get repaired before the pool opens. So congratulations, Ms. Stone. That's it. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, sir. Just Roberta, I want to thank you for going with George to pick up the tree. Thank you very much. Help pick up.
It was a lot of fun. Victoria's a beautiful nursery, and George and I handpicked the trees.
Well, we'll give you shout-outs. I want to give a shout-out to Mr. John Brown, library trustee, for the movie night. He created I want to say, how do we say it where I don't want to say idiot-proof because that's not the right... Cookbook. A picture cookbook with arrows, and it took him some time so that every single person that works at the library, or should someone come from outside the library and use the equipment, knows exactly how to run the equipment. Play DVDs, hook up computers, so we do not run into any snafus where the movie cannot be seen.
Can we call him a big hero?
We could call him Big Hero 7. 7 plus.
Anyway. We shoot down at the Knights of Columbus. We're having a problem with our AVs.
Well, he's not...
I don't work cheap.
Thank you.
Actually, I do.
With regard to the library, again, the Hackbar Foundation is funding video cameras. So we can now replace video security cameras. So we can replace the outdated ones that we have right now, which are not recording correctly. They record, but they are outdated. So you do not basically get everything you should be getting on those.
And also, Mayor, if I might be, as John knows, there are more cameras, more locations. There weren't enough there to cover because of certain things, issues that we had. So now, with Mr. Brown's help, we've located where they should be located.
It's another shout-out for you, John. There you go. So I want to thank the Hackbar Foundation once again for their generosity. Lastly, I'd like to thank Sergeant Laurel and Officer Aronson and the other members of the Chief and the other members of the Police Department for the work they do for this town. They make this borough, they are what help make this borough a community. They ensure that we are a community. They do community policing, and unfortunately, like Mr. Trevino said, you do see some of the things, you see it on the news, you watched it last night, things that do go on in other communities. And it is an absolute unfortunate situation. But we could be very proud and happy of the men and women that are here that protect this community. And with that, let's go to resignations. We have resignation of Ashley D'Elia as a member of the Board of Health effective April 28, 2015. Is there a motion for the acceptance of the resignation?
Motion to accept.
Second. Roll call.
Trevino?
Yes.
DeHere?
Yes.
Eisenberg?
Yes.
Messer?
Yes.
Lindenau?
Yes.
Baroni?
Yes.
Okay, appointments. Approval of the following. We have Michelle Trevino as a member of the Board of Health effective April 28, 2015, filling the unexpired term expiring December 31st, 2015.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Roll call.
Trevino?
Abstain?
DeHere?
Yes.
Eisenberg?
Yes.
Messer?
Yes.
Lindenau?
Yes.
Baroni?
Yes.
All right, council approval of the following. From the Maywood Inn, doing business as Twin Door Tavern, request for an outdoor dining permit. Number 2, from the Senior Citizens Club Maywood, request to park personal cars in the pool parking lot for the period of May 12th through May 14th, 2015. 3, from Board of Fire Officers, request permission for the Maywood Fire Apparatus to attend the Saddlebrook Memorial Day Parade on May 24th, 2015, the Rochelle Park Memorial Day Parade on May 25th, 2015, and the Paramus Fire Department Wet Down on June 7th, 2015. Number 4, from Leukemia and Lymphoma Society of Northern New Jersey Chapter, permission to hold an on-premises draw raffle at the Knights of Columbus, 105 Grove Avenue, Maywood, on May 15th, 2015, from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. Is there a motion for the approval?
So moved.
Second. Roll call.
Trevino?
Yes.
DeHere?
Yes.
Eisenberg?
Yes.
Messer?
Yes.
Lindenau?
Yes.
Barone?
Yes.
Resolutions by title.
Resolution 7415, resolution authorizing the redemption of a tax sale certificate for Block 61, Lot 26. Resolution 7515, resolution authorizing fireworks display agreement between the Borough of Maywood and International Fireworks Manufacturing Company, Inc. Resolution 7615, resolution authorizing Neglia Engineering to prepare the 2014 annual stormwater management report for the Borough of Maywood, Bergen County, New Jersey. Resolution 7715, a resolution ratifying and confirming the purchase and installation of the swim pool seating benches.
Discussion?
Resolution 7815, a resolution authorizing the granting of a street encroachment license for 11 East Pleasant Avenue, Block 76, Lot 1, and the execution of an indemnity and hold harmless agreement therefore.
Just one second, Mr. Lindenberg. Is there a motion for the adoption?
Yes, motion to adopt.
Second.
Discussion?
Discussion, yeah. Just on the tax sale certificate, just to point out to the public, as I have in the past, this is at no cost to the borough. Somebody bought a bad tax lien, collected interest on it. The owner had to come forward and pay off the lien, and the way that the owners pay it off is they pay it to us, and then we reimburse the person or company that bought the lien. So this is not a tax appeal. This is not any loss of funds to the borough. It's just basically some accounting.
Thank you for that clarification, Mr. Eisenberg. Roll call.
Trevino?
Yes.
DeHere?
Yes.
Eisenberg?
Yes.
Messer?
Yes.
Lindenau?
Yes.
Barone?
Yes.
All right, we have no introduction of ordinances. Is there any new business? Is there any old business? Is there any miscellaneous business? We have, I believe we have some closed session on it.
We do, Mr. Mayor.
Is there a motion to go into closed session?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Roll call.
Trevino?
Yes.
DeHere?
Yes.
Eisenberg?
Yes.
Messer?
Yes.
Lindenau?
Yes.
Barone?
Yes.
Be resolved by the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Maywood pursuant to the provisions of the Open Public Meeting Act, Mayor and Council meeting closed session to discuss the following subject matters: personnel. Be further resolved as concisely as you can determine at this time, the discussion conducted in said closed session to be disclosed to the public upon taking final action thereon, provided disclosure should not violate the attorney-client privilege or constitute undue invasion of privacy. Be it further said, the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Maywood do not intend to return to open session after this meeting, but reserve the right to do so.
All right, we are in closed session, John.